All right, Coach. If only there was something for you to comment about.
It's always an adventure. It's always an adventure when we play Buffalo, and incredibly hard fought game. I mean, incredible character shown by our guys. We've been talking about it for the past 10 days, that we're going to play for pride. We're going to play for passion. We're going to play for the program. We're going to play for each other. That's what these guys did. They found a way. It wasn't pretty in a lot of the evening in a lot of different ways, but the guys found a way to get it done, and that's what it's about. And I'm very, very proud of them, and happy that we could send the seniors out who have been the foundation of what we've built, that have been around and bought in from the very, very beginning to get us to this point, and we're going to continue to climb from here. But guys finished this thing the right way, and very, very proud of the effort by everyone involved. And it's a big time win.
Tom, right here in person.
Coach, I want to ask you about the catch. Marquez on fourth and 5, and he gets 6 right in front of you.
Yeah.
And that looked like about 1% catch and about 99% heart.
Yeah. I mean, in those situations, in a lot of these moments, right, it's really not so much about plays, it's about players. And that was an opportunity where obviously we had to have it, and put the ball in his hands. He did unbelievable effort, individual effort to fight and scrap and find a way. And that's why we trust him the way that we do. He's got another cool 145 yards rushing, and none more important than those 6 to keep that drive alive and for us to be in this position that we are.
Coach, Devin never really got into a groove. We talked about his previous games where it seemed like it was that one catch that sparked them off. It never happened for him tonight. That a combination of elements and a pretty good bull defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of different things, right? To where he just couldn't find his marking, and we couldn't play catch the way that we needed to, so we needed to make a change. And kudos to Tommy. I mean, shoot, for the majority of the season, right? Tommy's our 4-string quarterback, and he's operating the scout team. And for him to prepare the way that he did, knowing that he's going to be the next man up, and I went over to him and said, "Hey, it's time to get loose. It's time to go. We need to spark. We can't be doing the same things that we keep doing, right?" And so he's like, "Hey, let's roll," and he responded in a big time way. And Dev will bounce back the way that I know that he will. But it's a heck of an individual effort by Tommy to come in. I mean, 6 for 11, 102 yards, and just managing the whole situation. I mean, his football IQ is something that has jumped off the chart since he's been here. And there was no moment through all those different unique situations. He absorbs it all, and he's able to manage all of that and thrive in those settings. And it's a big time evening for him.
And it didn't look like big eyes at all. The first play gets the first down, he's right up on the ball, right into the flash pass. Like there didn't seem to be anything lost in that.
No, I mean, he's trained, right? He's prepared the right way. And we talk about it all the time, when we sit here after these games, to where, the preparation meets opportunity. You never know when your number is going to be called. His number was called tonight, and he handled it accordingly.
Their backup quarterback Myers, we're looking on the stat sheet, we can barely find this guy's name, and then he ends up rushing for 100 yards tonight. How much of a surprise is that for you guys today?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they had shown a little bit of, right, as we had prepared for it. But they had a little extra time, obviously, with not playing, and obviously, built a nice package around him. And we had to do a good job settling down, seeing what was going on, figuring out the different fits of what was happening in the defense. And our D staff did a great job, again, figuring out what that was going to be, how we could fit it up properly. So in those critical moments as we came down the stretch, we were able to get just enough stops to slow that package down. But it was a well-designed scheme, that, again, we had to adjust on the fly too, and our kids did. Our coaches responded, and we got enough stops when we needed to.
Talk about the soul collectors when they had to have stops at the end, and Snyder, who's a pretty he's throwing for over 2,400 yards this year. They really had him rattled, it looked like, at the end of the game.
Yeah, they did a great job, right? I mean, it's kind of what defensive football has become in college football, right? To where you need to get key stops in critical situations. That's what the soul collectors did when they were able to get on schedule and be ahead of schedule, really, and be able to kind of get their butts up in the air a little bit and go affect some, and get some pressure. They were able to do that. Obviously, huge timely turnover there at the end of regulation. That gave us an opportunity to at least have a chance to win it in regulation. But again, major stops, great effort by them, being incredibly resilient all the way through and finding a way, to make just enough plays, get just enough stops that we needed to get a win here and go at this thing the right way.
One last thing, talk about your receivers, just kind of staying with it.
Yeah.
They look frustrated at points because they looked like they had some separation.
Sure.
With everything going on, they weren't getting the ball, but Tommy comes in and starts hitting the mark with them.
Yeah, again, I mean, our wide receiver coaches and our wide receivers do an unbelievable job of working in unison together, right? And we know, again, like, things were going to be challenging up here from the minute that we, kind of turn the page. We start looking ahead to the weather, and every single time we come up here, it seems like there's something going on, right? And so with the wind and the elements, and obviously Colin going down and Devin not getting settled in, and okay, we go to Tommy. Those guys were just cool, calm, and collected, right? Some emotions bubble to the surface, but hey, they're kids. That's going to happen. But they did a great job refocusing, resetting, settling back in, and again, then just making the plays that came their way and doing what they're capable of doing. That's what we talked about at halftime. There wasn't going to be any magical plays. It was going to be operating and doing the things that we know that we're capable of doing and playing to our ability. And that's what our kids did in the second half and all the way through into overtime, so we could find a way to win this thing.
And your message to the seniors as they play their last game for the Flashes here on the road.
Yeah, I mean, just remember this moment, right? That no matter what you're going through, I think it's a great culmination in this evening. That it kind of sums up the season, right? There's been highs, there's been lows, and in this game there was highs and lows. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some ugly, but the guys just kept showing up. That resilience, and we talk all the time about one of our core beliefs being toughness, right? To go harder and longer than anyone else, and these guys didn't quit. They kept fighting, and if you keep fighting, regardless of circumstance, someone who's unwilling to quit, you can't beat. And that's what those seniors have been, all the way through. Again, the ups and downs and everything that we've been through and what they've learned. I mean, just an incredibly resilient group that I know whatever it is that they go on to, they're going to be great in their careers and in the future. And I look forward to following their life's work and their journey and seeing the men that they become. And I'm very, very proud of them, very thankful for them. I mean, shoot, my family and all the families of the staff, we're not in the positions that we are if it's not for these kids, right? I mean, they're the ones who make it happen. I was talking with the linebackers afterwards before we got over here and like, hey, coach, great job. I was like, guys, like, players make plays, right? But players get the wins. We just kind of, I put them in good positions, hopefully, so that then their abilities can go take over. But game day is about the players, and these guys made unbelievable plays, and these seniors all the way through have made unbelievable moments and lifetime memories and connections that they'll have for the rest of their lives. So I'm incredibly thankful and grateful to be able to lead them and be a part of their life and continue to be a part of their journey and know that I'll always be a phone call away for them.
Club Dub make a road trip?
Club Dub made a road trip. It was a lot of fun. Yep.
Let's go to our virtual panel. Rob Toder from the Record Courier. Rob, do you have any questions for Coach?
Rob is gone. Jack, how about you, man? What you got? You've been with us from jump here, man.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, you found yourselves down 24-10 there, but the team was able to be resilient, come back, and they end up winning in overtime. Just talk about the effort today from the guys.
Yeah, I mean, again, just relentless, resilient. I mean, true grit all the way through, right? I mean, just picking themselves up, going back into it, and refocusing within each moment, and just incredibly proud of the effort, incredibly proud of the way that they, went about their business leading up to this game. A lot of people are saying, hey, there's nothing to play for with the expectations and everything that we went into the season with and where we're sitting right now. But like we talked about after the Eastern Michigan game, and there's everything to play for. All right. I mean, like we're going to put our name on this. And I'm really, really proud of the signature that our kids put on this game, the preparation to it, and the way that they fought all the way through it to find a way to win. And again, it's a memory that these seniors will be able to take with them forever. And many, many years from now, when they come back to Kent for homecoming, they'll be talking about, hey, remember when? Right? Remember that game in late in the season when everyone kind of counted us down up in Buffalo and we found a way. I mean, that's gonna be very, very special for all of them.
Talk a little bit about Tommy's performance. You mentioned it a little bit, but he comes off the bench and he plays really well and it kind of sparks the comeback. Just what'd you like from him today and what did he kind of do for the offense?
Yeah, I mean, he was the spark, like you said. I mean, he generated the momentum that we needed. I mean, this game is so much about momentum, with the young people that we get to lead. And it just got to a point to where we needed a spark. We needed to do something different. So Tommy had prepared the right way. Again, it wasn't too long ago that he was operating, down on the scout team. And obviously, because of the different things that have happened, we've called him up. And ever since we called him up and he's been sitting, in the quarterback meeting room, and I guess you'll kind of say, rolling with the varsity squad and not being on the scout team, he has prepared like a starter from the moment we made that switch. I mean, shoot, there was one night, where he was in the office for about over 2 hours, just kind of posted up in the staff room all by himself, just buzzing through tape, going through the process, sitting there with the call sheet, knowing that if his number was called, he was going to be ready. Right. So that preparation, that training, everything that we've talked about, he's really taken to heart. He's one of the most coachable kids, that we have in the locker room, very, very humble to lead him, and knew that, okay, as soon as we settled in with the decisions that he was making and the way that he was operating, hey, let's go win this thing, and that's exactly what he did. So very, very proud of him, but it's not surprising because of the way that he prepared. Right. He went about his business the right way. He's engaged, he's focused, he's locked in. I mean, and the kids rallying around him. And I think it's going to be a fun night for Tommy and Kent when we get back.
Last one for me, Coach. Obviously, looking at the season as a whole, 5-7, so you didn't get to go to a bowl game. But this is a big win to end the season. Is there anything that you could take from this win and carry it into next season?
I mean, Jack, there's a ton of lessons that we're going to take from this year, right? I mean, we won 5 times and we got great lessons the other 7. I'm a true believer that we win or we learn. And this team, this club, they took all the lessons from the whole year, those hard lessons that you need to learn, the pain that you have to endure, so that it sparks and inspires change. So that we could get to this moment and we could win this game and we could battle through and we could weather the adversity, and everything that culminated. There's a ton in that we can take from all of this. And now, obviously, to be able to hit the road recruiting, to do the things that we need to do to continue to elevate our program and to continue to develop the talent that we have. It's great to be able to do that with a win, right? And we got a great story to tell that we're going to hit the road and do that, and obviously pour into our kids that are on the roster. We got to, end classes the right way, end finals the right way, and handle all of our business the right way. But I'm excited to get rolling again in January, with our off-season program and build this thing back up and do it the right way, so that we can be playing in postseason play and championship games the way that the expectations are for us and the standard that is for our Kent State football program.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Let's go over to Jacob Hansen. Wrap things up. Jacob, any questions for Coach?
Yeah, just real quick. We saw Schlee exited. Was it an injury? Really not got it. We didn't really get quite a update from the broadcast, but did he exit because of an injury?
Yeah, it was injury related.
Okay, and then when you were coming in 0-5 on the road on the season, and now you have won 2 straight road games. Kind of just talk about how important that is, not only to end the season like that, but to continue that momentum going into the next season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, great teams win on the road, so that's big. And again, I think it speaks more to the character of this team and the way that they prepared, to come out here and end this thing the right way. Jacob, I don't know how much the momentum from one season carries over into the next. I mean, I think the one thing that I've learned year in and year out is that each team and each, year is its unique, kind of being, if you will, that's going to grow and it's going to evolve, and through the off season with the pieces that you add and everything else that goes into it, each year is its own baby that you got to take care of the right way. And you got to go through the process that running requires in winter conditioning and through spring ball and through summer conditioning, through training camp, and then into the season to learn and grow and to be playing your best football at the end of the year. So, it's great that these guys responded the way that we, asked them to and the way that they were capable of. And they showed who they were as young men. And I'm very, very proud of them that we got on the road here, won this game. We'll be able to carry the momentum of this win, into our December recruiting, to tell the story of our program and the trajectory that we're headed. But then when we get back in January and we, start rolling up our sleeves and do the real work that winning requires as we move ahead, that's going to be its own deal. And that's going to be its own moment that we got to handle the right way, so that we're not sitting here talking about a great win, but we're not going to postseason play, right? It's a great win today, but there's still a taste in my mouth that, is a little dissatisfying because we're not going to postseason play with the talent that we have here. So we got to do that. We got to use that as fuel as our fire as we continue to go forward.
And then we talked a lot about Tommy's performance, but how impressed were you not only with his performance, but his ability to come in, stay calm, stay collected with under 5 minutes in the game left in the game, and to put up that performance for his first time on the season? I mean, how impressed were you with that?
I mean, it's what I expected. Actually, I mean, I don't know if I'm very, very proud of him. I don't know if impressed is the right word, because again, that's who he's shown himself to be. So, everyone today got introduced to Tommy U. But Tommy's been rolling with us again. I mean, ever since he got here, he's been going about it the right way and just observing the way that he goes about his daily habits and his daily disciplines and the way that he attacks workouts and the way that he is engaged and take notes in meetings. Like, it didn't surprise me. I'm really, really proud that he got the reward, that all of his preparation paid off to have this moment. And I'm excited. I mean, shoot, about his future. I mean, he redshirted this year. It's the beauty of the new redshirt rule that has been around. He played in 2 games, but he got some great game experience, and we were able to save his redshirt. And, we'll continue to build as we go forward with him.
And then talking about Walker this season, just a spectacular season he had. Just kind of wrapping up the season. How did you feel he played this season? Do you feel he stepped up, or do you feel he played to expectations? How did you feel about his performance this year?
Yeah, my expectations and standards that I have for Tez are very, very high. And he knows that. And going into the year, he was stepping into a role that he was going to have to elevate his play because he was no longer a backup and we were going to be leaning on him in a big time way. I think where I'm most proud of Tez and his performance here down the stretch is that, he truly became the marquee guy with Slim being down with an injury, right? He was the guy that, had to show up each and every single day. And he was the guy that each and every single week that we knew, he's one of our best players. And our best players got to show up and they got to perform. That's what it means, to be the best. You're going to build a game plan around your best players, and the best players then that you're building the game plan around, they need to perform and they need to compete at a really, really high level. And Tez did that week in and week out. And again, with the injuries that we had, there was more water that had to be poured into his bucket. And he said, "Come on, like he'll take it on." He took it on, and again, each and every single week, he was a guy that we could point to, that we knew that we could count on, that was going to give us a great effort. And again, excited about his room for still continued growth and improvement because he's still mastering his craft, and it's scary how good he's going to be in the future.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Coach, thank you as always for your time and patience this season.
Yep.
Lay you in on a high note.
That's it. Hey, everyone, thank you for your time and your patience with me. Again, appreciate all that you guys do. Everyone here in person, virtually, thanks for your coverage. You help tell the story that we have, and especially young men that we get to cover, that you guys get to cover, the stories that you tell about them. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Go Flashes. Lights out. Exit stage left.